What's up, everyone? This is Casey and welcome back to the channel. Today is July 26th on Sunday, and it feels as though that we are entering Groundhog Day because every day there seems to be a new stimulus check update or new stimulus package update, but yet Congress refuses to give us confirmation. Now, last week Congress was supposed to, as of Thursday, announce the latest stimulus update package and that it was signed and approved and ready to go. At least that's what was stated by Forbes.com. Well, Friday, that got retracted because the Congress last minute decided to pull back announcing the package because there were a few key things that the White House still wanted clarification on. One of those things being whether or not the FBI was going to relocate their headquarters from Maryland to Washington, D.C., which you think would be a very odd thing that would hold up a stimulus package having to do with the millions of Americans receiving stimulus checks and unemployment assistance and housing assistance. But apparently there's a lot of things that are added in this package that the White House cares about that even the Republican leaders and the Democrats don't, such as giving additional tax breaks for businesses, and they also want the FBI relocation and just a few other things as well. The White House wanted to give significant tax breaks to the businesses and corporations that the Republicans basically said, we don't need to do that at this point. We've given them enough. And the White House is like, well, we want to go ahead and ensure that they get more. And the Republicans said no. Another thing that's been holding everything up is that the White House wants to attach providing relief funding for schools to them reopening. So instead of looking at the condition the schools are in currently and saying, okay, well, they need funding, the White House is basically saying that we are going to give the schools funding, but only if you open up, which is a very questionable thing because as of right now, we don't still yet have this pandemic under control. So I just find it very interesting that that is the stipulation with getting this package approved. So where are we right now in terms of the latest as of today? Well, let's try this again. Tomorrow, the Congress is set to announce a confirmation of a new stimulus package. At this point, who knows? The Senate Majority Leader McConnell came out Friday and said that they could be weeks away from approving the second stimulus package. But then we find out today, that they're going to probably announce it tomorrow. So at this point, I don't think anyone is holding their breath until we hear confirm. But in terms of what we know for sure, there's a lot of videos online, and mine included, that are pretty much all but certain that we are going to get a second $1,200 stimulus package. That's what I put in my previous video. That's what was confirmed by Forbes.com on Thursday. That's what the Senate Majority Leader has been stating. That's also what the White House spokesperson has been stating as well, Stephen Mnuchin, that they are going to include a $1,200 package. The Republicans have said it, the Democrats have said it, the White House has said it. It's coming. The only stipulation now is that there seems to be a lot of confusion as to what the limitations are. So there was originally stated that it was going to be the original amount of the irregular incomes that the first CARES Act included. Then there was conversations that they were pushing only $40,000, which they said was going to cover about 60% of Americans. That would exclude everyone else. And now we find out in the past week or so, a little bit more than a week, that they are looking to roll out the $1,200 package standard, basically identical to what the first package was. And so the limitations are set to be the same: the $75,000 for individuals, $150,000 for married couples, and about $120,000 if you're head of the household. So as of right now, that's what it appears to be. I put appears in quotation marks because, again, at this point, everything seems to be in disarray until we get confirmation. Now, what about the unemployment benefits? Well, it appears as though that they're not going to extend the $600 unemployment benefits, that additional, that expired. Well, I should say it's going to expire at the end of the month, but technically it expired last Friday because the way the unemployment benefits works is they only count a full end of the week. And a full end of the week for this month ended last week because it's on a Saturday. And Saturday was the last Saturday of the month. So technically, they have ended. And so what the Republicans have stated right now is that they are not going to approve the $600 extension under any circumstances. It's not going to happen. However, they are open to extending additional unemployment benefits of 70% of the pre-pandemic wages. So basically, if you were making, say, $40,000 a year pre-pandemic, that they're willing to give you up to 70% of that for an extended period of time. Now, there's no clarification how long they're going to extend that. typically the way Congress works and the way the laws and bills are getting passed. And for this to this point, we are in the seventh month, July of 2020, and so I can all but guarantee you, right, that this is going to be extended to the end of the year. That's I can almost guarantee it. They're going to, when they do announce this, they're going to guarantee it at to minimum of 2021 January 1st, and they may even actually extend it until July of the following year, so 2021. So they may extend this beyond that, but I think definitely to the end of the year. Now, another really big thing that people are wondering about is what is going on with the funding for evictions and the moratorium for evictions. So that also ended as well. And I know that there are millions of Americans right now, a lot of you guys who are listening to this, who are probably in a situation relating to your the housing and paying rent and mortgages and so forth. And so it appears as though that based on what Mark Meadows, who is the chief negotiator for the White House, and also Stephen Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, has stated that they are going to extend eviction moratoriums for people who are behind on the rents and the mortgages, which I think is a very good thing. I think that's a no-brainer. And, it sucks for a lot of landlords and property owners because obviously you want to be able to get paid, but this is a pandemic that is affecting millions of people, the entire country, businesses, people who are unemployed, people who are working, people who are self-employed, just pretty much everyone's affected by this. And so we have to ensure that people who are struggling to pay their rent are not going to be evicted. It's tough enough as it is trying to find a job, trying to keep your sanity, trying to keep your family together. And so I'm very pleased to hear that they are going to extend the eviction moratorium. How long are they going to extend that? Well, we don't yet know. They haven't yet announced that because they haven't confirmed the package. But again, I think this is going to all be included in one big deal, and this is going to probably be included all the way until the end of at least December 31st, 2020. Now, Mnuchin did say that they were trying, well, actually not even Mnuchin, but the Senate Majority Leader, Republican, stated that McConnell, that they were trying to roll out the stimulus package in individual packages and not just one. So they were trying to just basically a la carte this. So, they would pass the unemployment benefits, or then they would pass the tax cuts for businesses and so forth. And the Democrat leader, Nancy Pelosi, is like, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to pass some things and then some things we're going to put in separate packages. This is an all or nothing deal. We're going to agree on a package. We're going to get it all tidied up. We're going to both assign it, and then we're going to give it to the White House so that they can sign it, and we can get this stuff executed. I mean, that's basically where we are at this point, people. This is really, really crazy. Literally, as of right now, Congress has allowed the unemployment benefits to expire. Excuse me, I should say the additional payments. As of right now, the eviction moratoriums have expired, and we are looking for additional stimulus and protection from Congress, and we need to see some type of action on this. So there is some positivity. We do know that a $1,200 stimulus check is coming. They've all but confirmed that. They've stated that that's not even part of an issue at this point. They've stated that that's not even an issue or question. It is going to come, but there just seems to be a lot of hangups with the business tax cuts, also with the relocating of the FBI, and there also seems to be some confusion as well with how much funding they're going to put in schools. Now, again, they are set to release and announce this package tomorrow. Who knows at this point? But we can take some solace that the most important things that people are most concerned about are, for all intents and purposes, going to be in the package. We are going to get a second stimulus check. They are going to extend the moratorium on evictions, and they are going to extend the unemployment benefits, but it just is not going to be $600. It's going to be probably about 70%. Now, again, it could be $600. I can almost guarantee that that's not going to be the case. But even if it's an additional, $300, on the top of what your unemployment is, it's going to be enough to pay rent. It's going to be enough to put food on the table and to ensure that people aren't going to be evicted. So that's very, very positive news. I think at this point, the real question is, what are we going to do about the economy reopening? Again, we seem to be in kind of this lull stage to where we don't know whether or not situation is getting better or worse. There are a lot of countries throughout the world that basically have almost no cases at this point. And we're one of the last countries, I think the last country, that has the most infections throughout the entire world. And we're supposed to be a first world country, and we are, but yet, the handling of this, whether you agree or disagree with it, seems to be something isn't done right because we still have a lot of infections. As I stated to you guys, I'm down in the state of Texas, and our infection rate's been very high. The state of Florida has been high. The state of California had been having discussions about shutting things down again. And so, for people who are unemployed right now, looking for these unemployment benefits and looking for the stimulus check and the eviction moratorium and the housing funding, it's really hard for people to look for jobs right now when businesses aren't hiring, or when companies and restaurants are open at like 25 or 50% capacity. So as of right now, companies are forward looking. They have their projections, I should say their budgets planned out for their fiscal year, and sometimes it's the middle of the year, sometimes it's at the end. But a lot of companies have their fiscal year already laid out, and so they've already allocated how much hiring or layoffs, or I should say restriction, that they're going to have to do. And this coronavirus really does put a big dent in everything because they're not sure the numbers that they're going to need based on the business that they can expect. And so we need a clear plan from Congress and from our government to figure out exactly how we're going to get this virus under control and how we're going to get Americans back to work again, and how we can instill confidence back into the consumer so that people can feel comfortable spending again, but also saving and being able to travel and just feel safe going back and forth to work and to school. Keep in mind also, guys, the school was set to actually open up here in the next few weeks for a number of places, and the state of Florida, actually, the teachers union is actually suing. I believe it's the mayor I believe it's the mayor or the governor to stop the schools from reopening. And so we still have a lot of question marks. But if there is any kind of positive as of Sunday, it appears as though that they are going to pass the most obvious things that Americans care about. At this point, people, it's just a wait and see. So I can't thank you guys enough. I know that there've been a lot of updates, from a lot of people, and everyone is kind of just looking for the latest news from MSNBC and CNN and Fox News and so forth. And so, there is going to be some type of relief. There is some reprieve coming. We just need to get confirmation definitively, and hopefully that comes tomorrow. I would love to be able to wake up in the morning and make a video for you guys stating that it has officially passed by Congress, and here's what's going to be in the package. But I just hope you guys are staying positive. I implore you guys to do so because there is relief around the corner. Now, if you guys haven't already, I highly recommend you guys subscribe to the channel. Now, this is a financial education channel. We talk about financial education things here. We also talk about things related to the news and just everything that's going to help improve your lives. Now, as of late, we've been covering a lot with the stimulus relief package for obvious reasons. Everyone's been asking us to do that, and so we've been doing that. We also have been covering a lot with the stock market as well, as to the next crash, as to the pullback, as to whether we're going to see a complete V recovery or whether this is going to be more of a W recovery. And that's a really big question mark that we're not going to know until we can get a handle on this COVID situation. But I thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hopefully you all subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you like the content. And I do want to hear what you guys think in the channel below, in the comments below. Are you guys confident that we're going to get this second stimulus package passed this week, or are you guys still a little bit on the fence about that relative to how all of the news and the conflicting information? Other than that, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and hopefully you tune into the next video, and we'll go from there. Stay tuned. Take care.